Hi, I'm Dave Frey, and my talk today is Continuity and Care Through Team Ritual. My motivation for giving this, I came about a year ago to take the lead of a team at a startup that had been acquired, and they're working in a difficult context. And we just had the first departure from this team, and this office does great leaving parties. They're big, there's gifts, there's speeches. It's really wonderful. And I wanted to add something that was a lot more intimate and just for the core team. And I was quite nervous about it, actually. And it went really, really well, so that's why I want to talk to you about it. And the second part of the motivation is there's a very particular team culture here, and I'm always looking for ways to try to support that, and so I wanted to try this for that reason also. The ritual that I did, this was a departure ritual, and the details are really important, and this is a lightning talk. I can't talk about all the details, so just keep in mind these are the broad strokes, but attention to the little parts of it is very important. There were two main parts of the ritual. The first was a quiet reflection, and that took the form of, it was 5 or 10 minutes. I had a bell that I rang. I gave some instructions, so it was basically silence. The first prompt was very general. Remember this person, try to think of things that have stayed with you about them. It could be something that made you laugh, it can be professional respect, it could be something, anything. The important thing is that it left a mark on you somehow. And then about halfway through the reflection, I gave them very specific instruction. I asked everyone to think of specifically something that they're very grateful for in this person. And we were in silence a bit longer. I rang the bell, and we moved on to part two, which is sharing this feedback with the person. And that form, we formed in a circle. We put the person who's leaving in the middle. He had specific instructions to sit down and shut up and not converse, not respond, not just take it in. That was the instruction. And then for everyone else, we had some ground rules to keep everyone feeling at ease. And then the point is to share the thing that you want to say. And an important rule there was no piggybacking. So sometimes in these contexts, somebody will say something and the next person says, yeah, I agree with Sarah. And I didn't want that. So the instruction was, you can say the same thing, but take ownership for it, make it your own, and speak it from your own heart, and not piggyback on someone else. An important part of this was I added a scribe, and a scribe was somebody that was outside of the team but was trusted by the team, so someone everyone was comfortable with. And we tucked that person away in a corner to try to be as unobtrusive as possible. And what they did is they just took down as carefully as they could all of the feedback that the people were giving to the person leaving. And afterwards, we cleaned up the notes and we printed a physical copy for the person to take away and keep, or not, but it's concrete evidence of all this feedback from their colleagues. The takeaways that I have, one was I was looking for a special send-off for somebody. This person knew that everybody loved them. That wasn't the problem, but I wanted to do something explicit. And I think it worked, and the person said it was really a wonderful experience. I was happy and relieved that it went well. There's also I think there was something important about, because this team has a very particular culture, they've been in a buyout situation, they're under threat, and so the fact of, I have to say that I understand teams as being the expression of not just the talents and so forth of the team members, but their values. And so I think there's something to be said about taking time outside of your business as usual, outside of the tools you use every day, to grapple and look for what's really important to you and to express it, make it explicit. And so I think that was worth doing. And the final bit that I wanted to mention was part of the inspiration for this was from a Zen hospice project that I read about. I think it was Brooklyn, but I'm not certain. And the point of it is the people in the hospice, whenever somebody's approaching death, everyone gets very involved in their departure. And part of what's happening is you're participating, you're caring for the person that's leaving, but in fact you're caring for yourself. And I wanted to mimic that in some way in the team, and I think that part worked well as well. Everyone's caring for the person leaving, knowing that this is happening to them later too. And that's about it. A quick shout out to Ian Randolph, my colleague, who inspired a lot of this. He does these kinds of things at work.